delay, so just putting that out there. 3 second delay.
For those that don't know or are not aware, I am Big Dick Gideon.
That's Big Dick.
That's me. Of the blind tag fame, right?
Yeah, because
the fame.
We did get to interview
JR.
I missed it.
That's because you can't do shit right.
Oh, you're
for fuck's sake, man.
I'll take the smaller cup.
We'll take both, because, my left hand is my bad hand, so...
We're live here, pal.
All right.
I need a paper towel.
I'll take care of it. Hi, everybody.
We are live, and for some reason, this link isn't working.
Why isn't our link working?
I'm not sure. Let me see if I can refresh. 1 second.
Live control room.
Oh, God.
Start encode.
I'm fucking it up.
Yeah, you really are. Get it together.
I'm mucking it about.
Am I streaming right now? We're probably streaming right now.
Are we?
So everybody's watching me pick.
Yeah, we are. We are live.
So. Oh, there we are.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's us. Hey. Hey, everybody. So what we'll do? We'll just
Cool.
go like that, and there's the chat.
Oh,
okay,
look,
we're good.
I'm picking my nose. Everybody gets to see me picking nose.
Sweet.
Awesome.
All right, you want me to start this up in case?
No need.
I need paper towel, please.
Oh.
Thank you.
Because God damn, your side of the desk is a fucking atrocity. Okay.
Your face is atrocity.
This is how we're starting
Uncalled
off
for.
this live podcast.
Uncalled for.
This is how we're starting. As you can see, we are really ready for this.
Yeah, I was. Somebody just decided to go live when
You told me to start without you, and then you're like, don't start without me.
You were like freaking out. You said, "No, that's not how these things go," and you were going to start crying, and I didn't want you to cry.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I didn't want you to
how
cry.
That works.
Don't cry.
Crying. Anyway, let's get to the point of this whole live stream, if we could.
Football?
No, not football.
Well, that's what we started off. As you can see, we have
We're all,
a Giants fan on one side and a Redskins fan on the other side and a Pittsburgh Steelers fan in the middle. So that's how we were starting off our evening while we were waiting to go live and talk with everybody about what we're about to go into. But first, I think introductions need to be made.
Yes.
Right? Because not many people have seen us live.
That's true. I am Big Dick Gideon, host of the Blind Tag. Beside me are two members of the Fallen Angels. We have Dante and we have Krim. We usually talk about goings-on in the wrestling world from week to week. You can usually catch our podcast on the same channel that you are currently looking at the stream at.
Actually, our latest episode, which is our 30th episode, 3030.
Dirty 30.
Just was posted up on 1640
Yes.
today.
Okay. It was just posted? Okay.
Yep, they just posted it earlier today, so our latest
fucking worked
episode. Today's episode, this isn't really considered an episode. This is more of a saying goodbye or a memorial to somebody who meant a lot to, oh my God, I can't even tell you how many young and up-and-coming pro wrestlers and some pretty big names that went through this man's school and worked for his promotion, and that is Fat Frank, also for, the co-founder of Jersey All Pro Wrestling. So we're going to be doing this little memorial show for him. We will be having a few people call in.
Yeah, we're trying to get some people.
Did we put up on our Facebook or Twitter that we're live?
No,
as of right now?
could you
actually
do that for the
We're so
Fallen
bad at
Angels?
this, it's not even funny.
Prepared.
We winged this as.
This is so bad.
We're taking care of this as a promoter would on a wrestling show. Just falling apart.
We're giving you the real effect of a behind-the-scenes independent wrestling show when really they just make shit up.
I'm still waiting to see what the card is and who I'm working. I mean, the show's supposed to start at like 9:30, and the audience is still out there waiting, and we ain't got no card.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it's.
Well,
but anyway,
starting up.
Yeah,
but,
he's chugging along here.
Sorry, not to be rude. I'm gonna drink some coffee.
I'm stoked. I gotta get myself in.
Bounce off my chair.
Well, this is this is happening. Frank's school was the first school that I ever took bumps in. He was it was Jersey All Pro, and they were running out of the Charity Hall in Bayonne. And my friend from high school at the time, his name's Dave Wynant, also goes by the name of Dave Logan on the independent circuit.
And everybody's pretty well knows his brother, Kyle.
There's Kyle Wynant, the Beast.
Kyle the Beast.
Big Dan Wynant, so I know all the Wynants.
The Wynants.
The Spotswood boys.
Yeah,
the Wynants and the Donahues go way back.
Yeah, but the Wynant boys, I knew all of them, and me and Dave were going to be a tag team, and we started at Frank's school at Jersey All Pro like 2000.
Is that in the bingo hall in Bayonne?
Yeah, the charity hall. Yeah, and from the moment I stepped through the ropes, I knew I wanted to do it, and I can't thank anybody. I can't thank him enough for at least giving us the opportunity to do that. It strikes a chord with me today because of his passing. Because we never I was at a school for like a brief moment, and when it shut down, he had everybody he had everybody going to Gino Caruso's ECPW once the JP school closed down, and I had always wanted to kind of reconnect with him and thank him for that, and I never got a chance to, and that's the part that kind of sucks, is that even on Facebook I could easily just send a friend request, but I never got around to it because I'll eventually get to it. Eventually never comes.
No, we were talking about this earlier.
Lesson to learn.
We were talking about this earlier. Tomorrow is not guaranteed for anyone.
Yep.
Okay? No one is guaranteed tomorrow. Ladies and gentlemen, Cancer of the Fallen Angels is joining us.
More than just his legs, ladies and gentlemen.
Cancer
More than just his
Gideon.
legs. Cancer Gideon in the house.
Cancer, welcome.
Hello.
And you brought an offering for the host.
No?
Okay.
Hell no.
Get out of your way, because I know you have some things that you'd like to say.
He's even repping the shirt.
Fat Frank Johnny D 121119884. Fat Frank will be missed so much. He is one of the people who got me into indie wrestling.
Yeah, we know. I've known Johnny D. I've seen him around at JP shows. If I'm not mistaken, he used to manage the Hit Squad. Johnny D, good guy. Yeah, Fat Frank touched everybody on the New Jersey circuit, especially in the late '90s.
Yeah,
oh my God.
You had Ricky O, who ran mostly North Jersey, Jersey City area. Then Frank ran Bayonne and kind of a little bit more south. And then you had CZW, which was in South Jersey. And all three had like the who can outdo who as far as like ultra violent and
I would definitely say he was a godfather of early hardcore pro wrestling in the New Jersey, New York area. Along,
he says not that Johnny D.
Oh, see, they're listening. See,
Well,
it's working. It's working.
This is working.
It's almost like I actually know what I'm doing.
Yeah, thank you.
It almost like I know what I'm doing.
Once in a while.
Yeah.
Once in a while.
But obviously, Fat Frank, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and read the article that was written by Insider.
Yeah,
PWI Insider.
Yeah.
So if you guys haven't read it, I'll go ahead and read it to you right now.
Actually, who wrote it?
It's by Mike Johnson.
Okay.
By Mike Johnson. Fat Frank Adavia, Jersey All-Pro Wrestling promoter, passes away. And this was posted today. I am very sorry to report that Jersey All-Pro Wrestler promoter Frank Iadavia, a.k.a. Fat Frank, passed away overnight. Iadavia, who was actively working on JAPW's 1114 event in Rahway, New Jersey, passed away in his sleep and was found out this morning by family members. Frank first got into the business training at the now defunct Lower East Side Wrestling School in New York City, run by the late Pete McKay. He began working as Lightning Lou Diamond, and his initial idea was to take the New Breed name used by Chris Champion and Todd Champion in Jim Crockett Promotions as one half of a team that was sent to the future to get the original New Breed for failing to take out Dusty Rhodes.
I thought our gimmick was far-fetched.
My goodness gracious. Let me just move that over there. There we go. Eventually, he settled into a team titled NC-17, partnering with Kane D, who now is one of the JAPW bookers, and were regulars for McKay's IPWA promotion, which literally ran out of the basement of a New York City housing project for many years as a training school and regular shows that would feature up-and-coming talents breaking in, including the future Devon Dudley, and Little Guido, as well as established names such as Johnny Gunn, Matt Bourne as Doink, and Jason Knight. Iadavia went on to found Jersey All Pro Wrestling with several partners in 1997. Frank, at the time, was a huge fan of what the original ECW was doing, and founded JAPW with Jeff Shapiro and Pierre Pilger using a lot of similar ideas based on blood and violence. Indeed, at one point, the promotion's battle cry was "Blood is better." JAPW would run regularly in New Jersey out of a former A&P turned into a charity hall. With the ability to do whatever they wanted in the venue, violence and chaos were often part of the show, as was heavy bloodletting, which eventually led to local politicians going after extreme wrestling, which wound up being banned in Bayonne, New Jersey.
Yep.
JAPW would also run larger anniversary shows, booking conventions with big-name stars. They were the first to reunite all of the original Four Horsemen together, and at one point had stars from WWF, WCW, and ECW all appearing at the same convention during the height of the Monday Night War. JAPW also became a breeding ground for talent as current ROH champion Jay Lethal, Charlie Haas, and Danny Moff all came out of the promotion's training school, while others such as Low-Key, Monster Mac, and Homicide found JAPW to be their home promotion for a good portion of their careers. Indeed, when the founders of Ring of Honor launched in 2001, a good portion of the early roster who were locals were JAPW alumni. JAPW was also the first promotion to co-promote with New Japan Pro Wrestling, bringing them over for a trio of shows in New York City, New Jersey, and Philadelphia. While the shows did well, the financial investment involved led to JAPW taking quite a long time off. They began to promote the only annual anniversary events, which the next one was set for 11/14 of this year. On a personal note, I met Iadavia way back in June of 1992. I hadn't even graduated high school, and we encountered each other at an event former New York City wrestling reporter John Arezzi was putting together. Out of the group we all ended up talking wrestling with that day, who all agreed we were going to stay in touch. Frank was the only one who actually did. I remember him being so excited about training to become a wrestler, and as JAPW grew, he was as proud of it as he was his own family. Frank was very much part of the fabric of my time discovering wrestling beyond the WWF and WCW, and at times was one of the most successful Northeast independent promoters. I am very sad to hear of his passing, and I feel very, very old today because of it. On behalf of everyone associated with PW Insider, I'd like to extend our deepest condolences to Frank's friends and family. And that is the article that was written by Mike Johnson over at pwinsider.com.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's, like I said, he touched everybody. Cancer. I mean, you got.
Yeah, Cancer. Tell us about Frank.
About your time.
Yeah, tell us about your time.
You know, there's a lot of young guys that probably feel the same way that I do right now, that Frank gave opportunities to people that you really wouldn't have expected him to give opportunities to. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
I just want to make sure.
You're okay.
Sorry, in the way.
No, it's okay.
No, you're fine.
Frank gave me a lot of opportunities. I mean, first he, put me out there against Billy Real for lightweight heavyweight title. He had me wrestle Low-Key, Homicide. We started with a tag team known as 69 Degrees with Chino Martinez, which is Kane D's brother.
Yeah.
I can't say enough for that man, because he put me out there without even thinking twice. He saw me wrestle once or twice. He thought that I had something good, and he let me go out and do what I can. And he let me do it with some of the top stars that are after today. I mean, Low-Key, number one. I mean, I wrestled him at least 3 or 4 times with Jersey All Pro. Had great matches with him. Enjoyed myself all the time. Homicide, who, TNA, he blew up over there, LAX, the whole nine.
Yeah.
People like the Haas brothers. The guys that came up, Jay Lethal, all these guys came through because Frank had this place for people to go.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it was someplace that was a better outlook than the rest. You know, there were some schools that you just didn't want to go near, and then you go to a place like Jersey All Pro. It was like being with family. That's how it made you feel all the time. Always feeling like you were part of the group, and that, you know, something went wrong, they were there to help.
So you cut your teeth at JEPW, is that correct?
I would have to say that even though, you know, ECPW was a breaking ground for me,
You got more of the spotlight.
JAPW was,
Yeah.
I mean, they gave me, I won over Gino Caruso in Jersey All Pro. That is a big thing back in the 90s.
Yeah,
to win
yeah.
over a person of that status.
Around Jersey, absolutely, yeah.
You know, he put me in a lightweight championship, like I said, with Billy Real, who was, you know, top dollar at that point.
Can you tell the fairy in your pocket?
Yeah, what's going on there?
Hey, Marty McFly, you want to take care of that?
Well, listen, Doc Brown is really busy right now. He needs
You ain't kidding.
plutonium.
You got some paradoxes going on.
I've got it in the trunk.
Jesus Christ.
I'll get it to him in a little while. I apologize. He keeps on
Goddamn
texting me.
flux capacitor.
God damn.
Just to even waking up to this morning and hearing the news that he had passed, there's a lot of shock. In all honesty, I'm able to talk a little bit about it now, but I am a little bit shocked. I mean, I have not seen.
Well, he was
Frank.
44, right?
I saw Frank. I saw Frank.
43. I'm 45. That I'm like, dude.
I saw Frank maybe a couple months ago when he started running his shows again over in Rahway, and just as always, House of Fire running through. A quick hello and quick goodbye, but it was enough for us to know that, you know, we still have our friendship connection, and that's what I hold true to me.
Yeah.
You know, I really don't know what else to say, man. Thank you so much for everything you did. You know, save me a seat up top because I'm coming.
Yeah.
As soon as it's my turn, I'm coming, and I'm gonna be right there with you, man.
I think Russ met Frank at the gate. You know.
I would have to think so.
Yeah.
But
Show him around.
now, Krim, you also sort of cut your teeth there, yes?
You know, I learned my first bumps at JAP.
Yeah.
Okay, I learned chain wrestling at JAP. Magic, guy on the independent circuit, is responsible for was responsible for first training me, and
Sure.
he was the head trainer at the time for Fat Frank.
Yeah.
A lot of good guys came through Frank's school. I mean, like Frank, JP was known, or at least it was innovative for the late '90s. I mean, they were doing things. They were trying to compete with ECW at the time, which was
that's a hard
which
act
was
to follow.
Which a hard act to follow, but that's what everybody wanted, and Frank was able to put that out.
Mm-hmm.
There were so many, so many good stories that
A lot of the guys from ECW would come up and work for Frank.
It's true.
You know?
Very true.
Yeah,
If I'm not mistaken, Balls Mahoney was booked a lot of times on JAPW. If I'm not mistaken.
Balls Mahoney. I know Sandman. Sandman.
I think Sabu worked a lot for him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There. One thing came to mind. Back in the day, Homicide did not like being compared to New Jack. Hated it. I mean, like, because everybody said, "Oh, you guys look alike. You guys are similar. You guys got similar gimmicks." Hated it.
Mm-hmm.
I remember one time there was a match that was going on at JP, and for whatever reason, I think they were going long, and Frank sent somebody out with a chair to just do a fuck finish, get it over with, because they're going a little too long. And I think Homicide took offense to that. Basically, the guy get the chair, and then he fucking swung the chair at Homicide, and Homicide ate the chair shot.
He just ate it.
Just ate it, and he either had the, I can't remember if he had the chair hanging around his neck, or he just kind of stayed there looking pissed. And I'm like, everyone's like, damn. There was a kid in the audience that says, "Calm down, New Jack, now."
Oh no!
What had happened was he had jumped the rail and chased this kid into the street in Bayonne.
Fucking way!
The whole locker room fucking files out trying to get him to fucking calm down. Yeah, it was.
No way!
I'm telling you, some of the shows were great. Some of the shows were just
well,
great.
that's the thing. Oh,
I
Andrew Morgan. It is a sad day in indie wrestling. Fat Frank gave me the opportunity to teach some really great guys. My heart hurts for his family.
Yeah,
and that's magic.
I
asked Magic to call back in. Hopefully he will. I got the phone sitting right here on my lap, brother.
Yeah,
So
we're ready
please,
for the call in, Magic. If you want to go ahead and hit us.
Please call us, Magic.
Um,
You okay? Gonna collect yourself there for a little
We
bit?
had to talk to Doc Brown.
I
Yeah.
had to let him know the plutonium was safe.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that he didn't have to worry about any of the Iranians. We got it.
Yeah. So because I know when you started off cancer back in
Grandmaster B.
Grandmaster B, right?
Before Grandmaster Sexy was Grandmaster Sexy, just
True story.
You gotta watch your head. You're blocking Grandmaster B here.
Well, I got a big head.
That's why I said
It's the
have
camera.
to
I can
move
slide
forward.
over.
Okay. I got a big head.
There you
I
go.
can't help it.
There we go.
I got a
See,
big
look.
head and little arms.
The triplets.
And the guy who's the handsome dude with the glasses? That's Big Dick Gideon. Or maybe you mean him. Or maybe you mean him. You don't mean him. It's
The
fine.
Shining Wizards. Which
Shining Wizards.
You know what's kind of
Oh,
funny?
that's
which handsome
you.
man? Which
Everybody.
handsome man?
Which one?
Which one?
there.
Which one? We don't
all-
know.
We all have glasses.
Yeah. You gotta help us
We all have
out.
glasses.
Thanks.
That's really sad that you mistook her for a man. I mean, what's wrong with you?
Get it together.
Seriously.
Shining Wizards need to get it together.
Get your shit together.
Put it in a backpack, okay? Get it all together, put it on your back, and go to the fucking shit store and sell it. We got a call in right now.
It's magic.
Okay, go ahead.
Wait a second.
Go ahead, Magic.
Hey, brother.
Hey, how y'all doing today?
Hey,
We're hanging in. How are you?
I'm good. It's a little sad. You know,
Yeah.
I've been with JP from day one before it was JP. It was called the Garden State. I don't even remember. That's how long me and Frank was back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I met Fat Frank through Kane D and Chino.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's how I met him. You know, we started the wrestling school at Gino's wrestling school. We used to have shows there. There was a lot of things. He kept saying, yo, we're going to open the school, and we're going to do this. And I'm like, yeah, you know, you always say, yeah, okay, it's right, you know, because Frank was a young guy. He was a young promoter fit to me. He was a young kid.
Yep.
And we started wrestling in a bingo hall. He came back one day and said, yo, I got this place. He met up with Pierre and Jeff, and they started setting up in the bingo hall, and I worked for them for a while. And then he came up with the school.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I met Grandmaster B, you know, and I met a lot of young guys from there,
Yeah.
you know, that took bumps and trained.
Yep.
You know, it's like, you know, it's shocking to hear a young man that passed away, you know, and it's really
Yeah.
hard.
Magic. Now let me ask you something real quick. When you say you've been around Frank for a very long time, did you cut your teeth at JEPW?
Did I do what?
Did you cut your teeth at JEPW or no?
Did you get your start at JPW?
Did
I
you?
did a lot of things with JPW, but I didn't get trained by JP. I was trained by IMI Shop.
Okay. All right.
I came from IMI Shop School, and I went to JP to help train.
Okay.
Yep.
And I brought in Charlie Haas and his brother out of shop school because they wasn't getting the push like they would, and nobody was really training them like to professional wrestling. These guys were real wrestlers. You know,
Yeah.
they really put you on you, you know, and I say, look, y'all need to come down to Jersey Airport. I can teach you how to train you wrestling. I mean, a lot of people don't know. The school closed down 3 times in a row.
Wow.
You know, we had one first class, we had a second class, and then we had the third class, and then that was the end of it.
Yeah.
Well, what part? Which one were you, John?
I think I was part of the second class, if I'm not mistaken. I was with Wynant. I had Blue.
Yeah, you was in a with Blue Elax.
Elax, yeah, Blue Elax,
Yeah.
Dixie.
Wasn't Lethal
Was it
Lethal
Texas
was
there?
third.
Was he third?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Lethal.
Yeah, you was in the second. You was in the second class. 'Cause
Yeah.
you came with Dave. We came with Dave, right?
Yeah.
What's up, Magic?
Yeah. How you doing, everybody?
We're trying to hold in, brother.
Yeah, you know, it hurt me real bad to hear it because a friend of mine called Hector called me up and said, yo, is this true? I said, true about what? He said, Fat Frank. I was like, get out of here. Get out of here.
Yeah.
And then I called King D.
Yeah, I called up Strangler this morning, and he's the one who told Grandmaster B. So we kind of grapevine it that way.
Yeah, Kane D actually put out a Facebook post this afternoon very solemnly explaining that this was not a hoax, that it was true that Frank did pass away. So for anybody who might actually be asking that question, we're sitting here talking about it. It's the truth. It's not some kind of
legit.
bullshit. This isn't some kind of coax. It's the truth. We lost a really, really good promoter here in the Jersey area.
He really helped form the indie scene here in New Jersey.
Yeah.
Especially back in the late 90s, early 2000s. He really did.
Now, Magic, the one question I want to leave you with here, can you tell us your favorite memory with Frank?
Where I wanted to beat him up. Got on my nerves one day and wanted to beat him up. And everybody, and KD and Cheeto was like, yo, calm down, I'm going to kick his ass. That's the best memory I had. I really wanted to beat him up. And then 2 weeks later, we became friends and opened the school.
That's the business for you.
That's the business.
Yeah, I'm going to kick this guy's ass. I'm tired of his bullshit. In my language, but that's how it was. And then Cheeto was like, calm down, bro, because we had to go down south. We was heading down south to wrestle me and Chino. Mm-hmm. And they all grabbed me and was like, yo, I don't mind kicking your ass, kicking his ass. I got your back, Magic. And then, and then we talked. And I said, you know what? I'm wasting my time fighting with somebody. This business is really like, you fight anybody, it makes no sense.
Yeah.
I felt about it after that, Then I talked to him a week later, and then next following week we opened the Jersey All-Pro School, and I started training. And, I really appreciate it because I met a lot of wonderful men and women in that school. And you're right, he gave people that nobody else gave a chance to wrestle in Jersey. And he opened his doors, It wouldn't be no Homicide. It wouldn't be no Loki. It wouldn't be no Steve Mack. Mm-hmm. It wouldn't be the Hodge brothers if it wasn't for Frank to open those doors and let them train with us and put on a hell of a show. But they used to diss Jersey All Pro years ago. We used to go one month wonders and, wind up being one of the top indies after a while, And it took many years to get where it was at,
Yeah.
And then and then I want to kick his ass and fight. You get them mixed men, you're like, oh, fuck you, man, you fighting me? But he really didn't fight me. It's just that, time moved on, and being Suba wasn't the same. We was there, but we wasn't keeping up with the new talent,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Things move on, and I want to do it better. I got to hang out. I got to team up with one of you.
That's true. That is a true story.
That's right. Mm-hmm. That is a true story. That's fun. Grandmaster B wasn't around. That's good.
Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do, brother.
I got to have fun, man. And we teamed up. We had a great time.
Yeah.
Magic.
That's the great part of being in wrestling, man. We get to meet people. We become friends. We become family.
Yeah.
And he gave us all the opportunity at that time. He gave me the opportunity to train a lot of guys where nobody else would even know who I was. They were like, fuck this fat guy. He ain't no wrestler, And then when they found out I could train, they were the best thing in the world.
Yeah.
It's true.
Magic, I want to thank you for calling in, man.
Thank you, brothers, and y'all have a good day, all right?
All right.
All right, Magic, thank you.
For his family.
Thank you. Yes, absolutely. Thanks a lot, Magic.
Definitely. I'll see y'all in the ring.
All right, man.
All right,
Love
brother.
you.
Love you, too.
Right, bye.
Taking a look over here, looks like Mr. Johnny D made a little bit of a response there.
Yeah, Johnny D says, I was trained by my uncles, and as I got older, my brother and I kept dreaming of one day working for Frank and maybe holding the JAPW tag team belts.
There's nothing wrong with that,
There's nothing wrong with that. You can still have that dream, man.
Keep chasing the dream.
Although Frank has passed on, there has been no word at all that the show in November has been canceled.
And I don't think it should be.
Right now, if that show is still going on, we've already kept the date open. We will not take a booking that day. We will be in Rahway. Rahway actually is my hometown.
We
I
will
graduated.
be there to pay the respects.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I'll be there for that.
Whether or not
Johnny, reading your message there, man. Listen, Jersey All Pro with all hopes and intentions is still going to continue on. Don't ever give up on a dream. If you feel like you think you can make it, keep going, man. Don't stop.
There is no tomorrow. There is only today.
And with that being said, even if Jersey All Pro does not continue, there are several other places to go and live out that dream.
Yeah.
Jersey has a bunch of different little
The whole tri-state area,
Yeah,
really.
we're
I mean,
saturated with
yeah.
with good federations, so don't stop. Just continue.
I don't think the intention was to stop, but I want to make them understand, companies come and go. Jersey
Yeah.
All Pro has been a shining light in Jersey for so many years, where so many guys can go and filter themselves in and break out in some ways, or others are just, closing up shop, and Jersey All Pro was the place to go home to.
He did close the doors for quite a while, and
Yeah.
I do believe he just started right up about the same time we came back.
He was getting his feet in the door, that's
And
for
the
sure.
first show he ran in Rahway, he sold that place
He sold
out.
he sold the place over
It was
1,100
like
people easily.
it was like, oh, thank God! It's like ECW coming back to life again. Although that'll never happen. But
No.
for us
There's
in
only
New
one
Jersey,
ECW,
this Jap was, other than CCW,
Well, let's
Yeah.
Combat Zone.
let's be honest for a
This is
second.
the
I mean,
closest that we had at that time.
Yeah.
right now the top company is Pro Wrestling Syndicate. PWS has
Yeah,
really
and
taken
Jap was pulling
a hot,
in
right
more
What I-
numbers than PWS
what-
at the same building.
What I was trying to get to was
Sorry.
that PWS, while they are booming and while they're doing really well, they've got their own syndication going on. They got half-hour programs. You can watch all their great stuff. Jersey All Pro slid right into Rahway and still dropped 1,200 people into a show. And their stint was probably almost 2 years prior to that, or maybe even longer than that.
No, I
Well,
think
the
it
thing
was a
with
lot
the-
longer.
Well, I mean, in between the other show,
Yeah.
they had one show. That's where I came
Yeah.
to. They had a huge house,
Mm-hmm.
and then just what was it, like 6 months ago or so, when they had the other show, there was a good couple of years in between.
He
where
did
they
it
had those.
smart too.
Yeah.
He
But-
did it smart. When you
but
don't have a good
still,
backer,
yeah.
you gotta. Yeah.
To be able to walk back into the same building that's being used by a current company and still be able to have such a solid draw, that
How many years
shows
after? Yeah.
Yeah.
a lot of respect for what he did.
With that kind of promotion, though, I mean, bringing it back, I think doing the anniversary thing, number one, I mean, it made sense business-wise, obviously, okay, because, that's pretty
And
much
Frank
the only way he
wanted
could do
the
it.
show to go on.
Yeah, he wanted
really
he wanted the
would.
show
I
to go
mean,
on, but with the idea of that promotion, the reason I think it gets like that many people at a show is because you're getting the older crowd that remembers,
Bayonne
Do
was
me a
so
favor, just
tiny.
pull up his the poster for his November show.
Oh, he's got some names on there.
Oh yeah, no, there's
I
Bayonne,
mean, just-
Bayonne was so tiny. I mean, they
Yeah.
worked out of a hall, that
Yeah.
was right next to a freaking liquor store and a Quick Check. They had a 300-person limit.
Yeah.
They constantly overdrew the limit, which is why they had to pull out of Bayonne at one
Yeah.
point. I mean, the place was going to be remodeled and redone to something else, so they had to. But they were having people standing room only, and they were having people outside the window looking in to watch in because they couldn't get inside the show anymore. He always had high-level draws, even for independents.
Bet Wrestling says, "Hey y'all, rest in peace, Fat Frank. You got it, man."
Absolutely.
Good call.
Just go to the link. It says Jersey All Pro right there.
Okay.
There it is.
Yeah,
they got Rey Mysterio Jr.
I mean, look, back in, what was this, flashback, October 28th, and there's a very, very, very young Seth Rollins being interviewed.
My goodness.
And he was about to wrestle another star, Loki.
Yeah. Frank knew how to book.
Yeah.
There's just no way.
He just had a talent for
Yeah,
it.
he had a fantastic talent for it. Like this.
Rey
You get
Mysterio
a
versus
call coming in from
Loki.
Skype.
That's
Ow.
that's gonna
Shoot you in the head.
the Rey Mysterio versus Loki is gonna draw. Period.
No,
And
you're
it's
going to get people
But
No, I
in
don't,
the
I don't
seats.
have any
All of his-
Skype up.
all of his
I don't know what's going
all
on.
of the show is gonna draw. Period. That's what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
But the fact that he has now passed.
That's Mark Real, by the way, just so you guys know.
Mark Real.
Mark Real. If I'm correct, and
Mark-
Mark, you can correct me if I'm wrong,
He
but
can't
Mark
call
Real,
Skype because he's going to get my computer upstairs and
Mark
it's not
Okay.
gonna be
Real
good.
was a
you
protege
can
of Billy
give him-
Real.
give
If
him
I'm
your
wrong,
phone.
please let me know,
From-
but I'm pretty sure that's the
Okay.
same person.
Well,
Yeah.
hit your computer.
Mark Real,
line.
welcome to the stream, man. We appreciate you coming.
I'm sorry, I'm not computer savvy.
Okay.
What's going on?
Nothing. Just keep going.
We're talking to
What-
one of the
what-
guys from
Okay.
1640.
He wants
Okay.
to come and make a call, and we're telling him to,
We're just trying to direct.
But yeah, I mean,
Wow.
selling out Bayonne and
Mark Real.
Yeah, Mark Real. But yeah, but when they moved out of Bayonne, where did they go after Bayonne?
honestly don't remember at that point.
Do you
in time.
remember?
Went down
I
to
wasn't
Philly.
following.
They
as much
did
as
go
I
down to
They
Philly?
started working out of the ECW arena.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah, they
And then eventually they migrated over to Rahway.
He could either call my phone or your phone. My number is the one everybody's supposed to be calling.
Yeah.
okay. That's
Well,
what I got it.
Okay.
Okay.
So
'Cause I don't have Skype on my.
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh wait, somebody tried to call. Sorry.
Shit.
Oh, it's that fucking idiot. It was sorry.
No, it's 18 and over
Okay,
stream.
good.
Don't worry about it.
I'm sorry. One of our listeners from California. Hey.
Hello.
His name is Philip. Hi, Philip.
Hi, Philip.
We've been discussing on and off a bit on how to help him watch the feed. So hopefully you can see us now. Hi.
okay.
Glad you can join us.
Real says, anything to honor Frank. Yeah, me and Billy ran together in those days. Yeah, they ran in Philly. Brought in Lawler for some of those shows.
Mark, if you're the same guy that I think you are, you and I wrestled many years ago. It was actually the night before I wrestled Billy Real for the light heavyweight title. It was a match for, what was that gentleman's name? Oh my goodness, I can't remember his name right now.
Yeah.
He used to do a little bit of a dance with the hearts on him. His name was Jay something. Wow, I can't remember his name. So sorry.
Hello.
Yellow.
Hello.
How are you?
You know what this is?
Who's calling?
Who do you think is calling?
Oh, it's Andrew Anderson.
Oh my
Damn
goodness.
straight.
Is that who? Is that somebody calling in me? Yeah.
Yeah,
ask-
we're
okay,
getting
ask
we're
them-
getting
ask
blown
them
up
to
here.
put-
Hold on a sec, Andrew. Hold on.
No, I'm not gonna put him on hold.
No.
No. Hold
No,
on.
the person who. Yeah,
We'll-
we're still getting through this.
Sorry about that. This was our first live show, but thanks for calling in, brother. You want to share your story about Fat Frank?
Yeah, I got Jersey Old Pro first opened up, and this little short guy comes up to me and says, I'm running a show in Hackettstown at the roller rink. I said, Hackettstown? I said, I grew up there. He was like, I know. And he said, that's why I want you around there. And I was like, how did he know I grew up in Hackettstown? Well, apparently he was talking to a couple of guys, and I think Rick Silver and I think Livewire, Dave Desire both mentioned to him that I used to have a house up in Hackettstown, in that area up in Warren County, and he figured I had a lot of friends that could book me on the show, and obviously I had no friends. I hadn't lived there like 15 years at the time, so but he booked me on the show, and I had a match with none other than everybody's favorite Italian, Gino Caruso, and on the show, and that was the first JAP show I ever saw. You know, I was ever on. I was on their first show in Hackettstown at the roller rink, and I was on I think about 7 or 8 of their first few shows at the old Bayonne above the cleaners, or where the cleaners were. You know, so that was good stuff. But the funny story about Frank, and I want to tell you, is that Frank is actually part of the genius behind turning the Siberian Tiger into Andrew Anderson. So I'll always give Frank the credit of creating the character that is, you know, the Reinforcer as we know it. We're backstage, and it's me, it's Johnny Grunge, Teddy was there also, and Big 911, and we're doing a spot, and I was supposed to come in and do a run-in and get chokeslammed by 911 after a match with Nova. And Donnie B, ironically, is my manager for that match. And Donnie B and Kevin Knight. And Donnie B sits down with Frank and said, you know, the Cold War is dead. What the hell is he doing? He's got a great look. What is he doing? And Frank says, you know, that's true. He goes, he looks like an Anderson. And they're like, well, yeah. And his name is Andrew. Just call him Double A, Andrew Anderson. So I was kind of like, first I was like, kind of like, you know, I don't know. Should I do this? Shouldn't I do this? You know, I mean, you know, I am a Polak, and I do have a relation to Ole Anderson, which a lot of people did not know at the time. So, but I was told not to use the Anderson name by a certain Lars Anderson out of Hawaii at the time. So, and Mars was running up in Hawaii, and I was told, you're going to be an Anderson when you wrestle in Hawaii, because technically you should be, because of your relation to the Rogowski family. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, no, I can't do it. So I consulted with your old roommate, who legendary Superfly Jimmy Smith it. And Jimmy said, why not do it? So
Yep.
Jimmy was on the show with the Maniac. That was where the Maniac supposedly got locked in the bathroom with a transsexual.
Oh my God!
I don't know if you remember that.
Probably wasn't the first
that was
time.
another thing.
I remember.
Frank and
I remember Cinnamon, the one that he picked up in Jersey. I think it was at the Bayonne show, and he brought her back for.
Yes, that was it.
Yeah, we all worked that show. Yeah, just getting a knobber.
Look at this.
You know he never looks at a cinnamon roll the same.
Look what I found, brother. Look what I found. I said, the only thing you found was a pee-pee.
Yeah. No, brother. She just smokes a lot. No. That Adam's apple says something totally
That
different.
Adam's apple on a broad back. No.
I remember calling Frank up the next day saying, Frank, I said, did Maniac hook up with a tranny? Frank never gave me a yes or no, but just bust out laughing and said, we'll talk later. I was supposed to work King Kong Bundy on the next show after that. I think Bundy wanted to work in Dan Severn because I tore my ACL. So he wanted to work in Dan Severn on the next show.
Right.
But we had a lot of laughs, and so Frank at that show, we did the unveiling, and I get out in the ring, and I got chokeslam. I got beat by Nova, and then Donnie B comes out and starts yelling at me, and he goes, what the heck? You're not a Russian. You're not even Russian. He's like, tell him who you really are. Tell him what your last name really is. I said, Anderson. And they were like, so your name is Andrew Anderson. Who are you related to? And I had blocked family related to Arn Anderson.
Mm-hmm.
And they said, don't say Ole, don't say anything. Just say Arn Anderson because Arn was hot at the time in WCW and everything. And,
Yeah.
Right.
And so I said Arn Anderson, and which obviously I'm not in no relation to Arn, but and I went ahead and we ran with the ball, and it ran, and now look at me. I'm wrestling's equivalent of the cockroach thing for Frank. I'm, what, 20 some odd years later, and 22 years later, and I'm still there. Like they dropped the bomb on me. Everybody tried this, guys shit can me, didn't want to use me, and and then all of a sudden now I'm hot, and now I'm wrestling from Texas to Utah to Tulsa, to New Mexico, to California. And I'm in Portland with Kevin Sullivan, and in Seattle, and Victoria Island, Washington with Kevin Sullivan, and wrestling with Cahagas, Tokyo Monster as my tag team partner, and Vader as my tag team partner for Dewey 2 Promotions, and for various promotions up in the Pacific Northwest. So it's pretty cool, So I mean, and it all happened for a reason.
Yeah.
Now I never went back to working with Jersey All Pro because at the time, other people were booking, and everybody, they would tell me, Frank would say, come on, I want to use you, and then other people would say, well, he's too old, or he's Gino's guy, or he works too much for Ricky. He works for Ricky O. And at the time, so New Jersey was always a hotbed of wrestling, and if you worked for one promotion, you couldn't work for the other because everybody had to eat with somebody.
Hey,
Unfortunately,
that stuff still exists to this day too.
it's horrible today. I'm saying it's horrible. A lot of people burn bridges. I hear stories and I hear shit. And I get I get shit on. There's shit stirrers in the business, and I guess everybody has their shit stirrers. And one thing I got to say about Fat Frank is he was not a shit stirrer. He would never did anything bad to anybody. He was a great guy, and he called it like it is, and and he was a great guy to talk to. I'd run into him at the in recent years. I'd run into him at the not Legends of the Ring, but the big events in Queens that they have in LaGuardia, and I'd be sitting there with Greg, Beefcake, and Tugboat, and he'd be coming in, and he'd tell me he's starting up Jersey All Pro again. And he'd give me a little nod and a wink, saying maybe we can get you on it. You know what I'm saying? But in a different capacity. I mean, maybe because I'm too old now. According to them. But I mean, I'm in my mid-40s now, so who the fuck knows? But I'm still out there kicking ass.
Drew.
I'm still,
Drew.
mid-40s. Go ahead.
I didn't want to cut you short. It's just we do have other callers trying to call in. That's all. But
all right. Well, I was going to say how many freaking guys in their mid-40s can do 70 reps at 225 on the bench?
Not many, man.
But listen, that's my memory of Frank. I love the guy. God rest his soul. Rest in peace, Frank. I love you. And I mean, that whole crew, me, Magic, Donnie B. The whole crew with everyone from Foo on, the Pit Squad, the Haas Brothers, everybody. Everybody was there. The Flesh Eaters, Kevin Knight, even when he was cool, you know.
I worked for him with Strangler and Billy as Helter Skelter.
Yep, I remember that.
Yep.
Yep.
But Drew, I want to thank you for calling in, man. Thanks so much. We appreciate it.
No problem, guys. All right.
All right.
Stay safe, okay?
You
Take
too.
it easy.
Love you. Bye.
Give Pat the heads up, just let him call in.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean that's just a bit of what Frank has done for the independent business around New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
You
We're
know,
getting another call right now. Just give us a second.
Yeah,
we'll be-
Pat Crowley's calling in.
Pat Crowley.
Should be
He's
calling
one
in.
of our.
It's Firehawk, is it not?
I don't know if that's King Firehawk, but I do know it's.
I'm sorry, we're still learning everybody. We're really bad with names, and
While we're waiting on
we
the call,
apologize.
Mark, if you're still there, I absolutely remember everything you spoke about. The tag team, especially with Nick Burke, that was all the way up in Mawa. It was for the what was the gentleman, the Saint's name? Wow, I can't remember the Saint's name. I think it was St. Dominic, if I'm correct. I'm not sure. Oh no, St. Don Bosco. That's what it
Hello?
was. St. Don Bosco College.
Hey, hold on 1 second. Wait. Hold on. I'm gonna put you on speaker. Hold on. I forgot to do that. Okay. There we go. Here you go.
Go ahead. Who we talking to?
Hey, Dante, it's Pat from 1640 PWPR.
Hey, Pat Crowley.
Pat, thanks for dropping in, man. Go ahead and hit it with us. What you got?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you guys for doing this type of show tonight. I have a different relationship with Frank. Frank and Pierre have been so awesome to me through the years. It was about 2006. I started doing wrestling. I became a wrestling vendor, selling the action figures and Japanese stuff in the magazines. And I had a friend, Scott, who's a photographer who works Ring of Honor, a lot of those places. I met him in Englishtown, and I had like a booth, and I was selling all this stuff, and he hooked me up with Frank and with Jasmine St. Clair when she had 3PW. And it's funny, in Jersey, I worked for so many different wrestling organizations as a vendor off and on from 2006 on. And the two coolest people in the world for me, just in the relationship vendor to, owner, Jazz was always good to me, but nobody was better than Frank and Pierre to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I just wanted to call in because when I saw the news this morning, it just crushed me. I was talking to Frank by text not too long ago, for the November show that I'm going to, and I'm just thinking today, when I started in 2006 with Jersey All Pro, 2010, 11, I stopped doing shows. I had kids,
Mm-hmm.
but they always had a good spot for me. It's when I started podcasting in my life at the same time, and I had him on as guest once, and guys do Jersey All Pro, but I wanted to call up just to say I never met another guy in the wrestling business with more class than him. And my favorite memories of him were on the shows when he would just walk around Rahway, or when they were in Aberdeen at Good Sports, or even when they hit ECW. I never got a chance to hit Bayonne. I grew up in Woodbridge, right next to Rahway, where you said you're from there, Dante.
Yep. Class of 88.
Oh, there you go. I was class. They shipped me off to St. Joe's in Metuchen, so I was class of 90. But I grew up in.
Sorry.
But Frank, I used to love when he would walk around the arena, and he mostly at that point just cared that everyone was having a good time.
Sure.
And I can tell you, as a vendor, they always drew a consistent number. Every now and then they pop and get have a bigger number, but I would say at least 600 to 700 of the same people always came there because they were so supportive of the shows. And just from my working with Pierre especially, but with Frank too, class guys, class all around. And man, this is really upsetting to me from my interaction with these guys. And I'm the same age as him, so it's really sad that the guy passed today. I'm really blown away.
Yeah, we're all pretty much blown away.
If they are definitely doing the show, we are definitely ordering tickets, and we will be there as fans. I mean, I don't think we're even going to bother maybe doing the podcast. I think we'll just go as fans just to support Frank and be part of the alumni.
Yeah. Pat, I want to thank you for calling in, man. We appreciate that.
And also thank you so much for giving us the opportunity for being on your channel. I mean, it's been so much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You guys are great. I leave you one very quick Frank story, very quick.
Sure,
Okay,
go ahead.
sure,
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
The very quick story I got for you, I know you got a lot of calls, was I would say about 07, when I was a vendor for them, I used to set up these pegboards for action figures, kind of set up my stand. So one time, because I get a catcher's position setting up, and Low Key's in the building and takes a Pepsi bottle, which was plastic, and hits me like he's Nolan Ryan in the back because he thought I was someone else. So he hits me with the soda, and I fall over. Ah! And I turn around. Anyone hits you with soda, you're like ready, like, who the hell is this? I see it's Low Key, I almost shit my pants. Low Key realizes I'm not who he thought he was, and is apologizing the whole night to me and all that. But it was great because later, Frank walked up to me right before intermission. He goes, "Hey, what would you have done if Low Key just didn't like you?" And I go, "I don't know, man. I know I would not be able to do anything."
Hey, Pat, how fast can you run?
Okay.
It
But,
wouldn't
thank you
matter.
I love you. I think the show is great, and I wish this wasn't the first time I was calling up to it. But thank you for remembering Frank today. It means a hell of a lot to me, because all the good years of being a wrestling vendor, I dealt with a lot of pieces of crap out there. That guy was solid across the board and a great guy. So thank you for taking the call, man.
Hey,
And thank you for calling in.
Thank you for
And
calling in.
thank you for everything.
Yeah, thanks for everything, Pat. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me on the show one time.
The one thing I will say is I'm grateful that people were like, thank you for giving us this spot to event. And the thing is that, you know, when it comes to, you might not know the guy personally, but it's enough that he's touched your life, and a lot of people need a venting board.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is that we're having this space. This is the first time we're doing a live cast with the Blind Tag.
It actually seems to be going quite well. We can
yeah.
actually communicate with our fans, which we've never been able to do before.
That's
and
neat.
I'm the technical guy. I make things work.
he's the guy with the brains.
He's the schmooth one.
Here.
So when they tell you I have the brains, that's not true. I do when it comes to the wrestling business, but when it comes to the tech stuff, it's all you.
But we're going to plug this real quick.
Yeah.
There's a GoFundMe going on in loving memory of Frank Iadavia, and it definitely is something everybody wants to look at. In fact, if you go ahead and link that to me on my Facebook, I'll link it in here.
The Fallen Angels are going to link it on the podcast page, as well as other pages. It's the GoFundMe for Frank Iadavia. It's for his family. Help cover, funerary costs and whatever kind of comforts they could need.
Because let me tell you, the wrestling business will never make you rich, and there is no very well-off promoter.
You ain't gonna get rich doing this.
And, whatever you can spare, just, it's up on the Fallen Angels Facebook profile. We are also now adding it to the Blind Tag.
Yeah, so go ahead and check out the Blind Tag page and the Fallen Angels page, and you'll see the GoFundMe for Frank.
Yep.
Please, if you can't give, spread the word, okay?
That's
because
true.
I know times are hard, I'm with you there, but if you can't give, please at least spread the word.
Getting back to the November show, not only, like I was trying to say, not only is it going to draw, okay, because there's going to be a massive amount of time. I know he's got the Hardy Boys, he's got Rey Mysterio, he's got Loki.
Okay.
But not only that,
Just even the
The
indie talent.
boys that are going to show up because they want to pay the respects to Frank.
That's
They were
why.
talking about the indie talent that was in the 90s, the 2000s, the ones that don't work anymore, that knew Frank. They will come simply if they'll pay the ticket or just come in the back just to shake Pierre's hand or whatever. And for me, I'd love to be around the ring for the 10-bell salute.
Sure.
Just to bang on that ring. I don't think there's gonna be hand space for that ring.
On that ring.
To be honest, I don't think there's going to be a dry eye in the house.
There's not going to be dry on the house,
Now-
but there's not
now
going to be
think
space
about
around the
it.
ring just to fucking bang on the ring.
When he announced his first show back after being off the scene since, for a good 10 years?
Almost 10
Maybe
years.
10 years.
Between 8 and 10 years.
How
I
many
don't
of the
know exact
boys came out just to watch that show?
Not only came out, but
Just
they
to
called
say-
up consistently trying to get put on the show.
to get either booked or just to show their support of it,
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, honestly, here's the thing. I'm relatively, you could say I'm not part of the wrestling business. That would be an easy thing to say. I never knew Frank, but I knew that he was important to Crim and to Cancer and to Dante, and I knew that he was important to the independent business around here. I'm fairly new when it comes to the business. I'm not a wrestler. I'm not a worker. But I've been around the business long enough now to know, to have a healthy respect for the people that do it. And, this guy, just the idea, I wouldn't need to know anything about him to know that he was loved, because people are calling in and saying this guy was solid across the board. Not know anything about him, that's all I would need to know.
Yeah. You can keep going. I'm just trying.
We're fine.
I'm trying to find he has like 3 or 4 profile pics, and one actually.
Now click on the link.
Yeah. One of them actually has like who's going to be on the show and stuff like that. Here we go. All right, so I know on the 14th.
19 years.
19 years.
19 years.
So close.
Yeah.
Here we were talking about, Seth Rollins, very young. That was 2006. Here's the other one. We have.
On the let's just go over the card for the 14th. So on the 14th, obviously you have the main event, which is going to be Rey Mysterio Jr. versus Loki.
That's going to be crazy.
That's worth the money alone.
Yeah, that is worth the price of admission.
Price of admission alone. Okay?
I don't even know what to think about how that match is going to go. That's going to be a phenomenal match.
Yeah,
that's going to bring the house down.
Yeah.
World's Cutest Tag Team, Joey and Candice versus Chris Dickinson and Heidi Lovelace.
That's going to be a brutal match.
That's a brutal one. You got Joey Janela versus Black G's.
That could be a really, really entertaining match. Janela is a very entertaining wrestler, and Black Cheese is one heck of a wrestler as well.
Mm-hmm. You have, just other people that are going to be showing up. You got Nick Gage, MVP, Jack Evans.
What else we got?
The LAX reunite. You got Conan, Homicide, and
LAX reunites.
Wow.
LAX reunites.
There's another case of people getting reunited after so many years.
If anybody, that reunion is a little bittersweet.
No,
how ironic that is.
I don't think he had posted the full card yet, right?
No, because it was still,
I'm pretty sure they were still in the work, and he was throwing surprises out left and right. But
see if
you got a preview, folks, of what's going to be coming and what kind of a show.
At the end of the day, if you don't want to go see Rey Mysterio Jr. versus Loki, I don't know what's wrong with you.
I don't know how to events. I don't know how else to sell it. Rey Mysterio Jr.
Yeah,
I mean, like, if you've never seen him live, I don't know how else to sell this.
Let's not sell Loki short at all.
No.
If you have ever seen Eddie Guerrero versus Loki, you would crap yourself.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like,
right? You wouldn't be able to handle what he did in that ring. It was amazing. Yeah, absolutely amazing.
I'm not.
It's going to be a really top-notch match. I'm sorry, I can't see it being any better than those two right now.
That's all right, but there's the fact that first off, you have Rey Mysterio, then you have Loki, and you told me you got the Hardy Boys as well. Is that true?
He's got the Hardys.
Both of them.
Both of them.
Why wouldn't you go to this show?
I wish I could tell you how much the tickets were. We were having a hard time trying to find
there's really no info on it that we can find right now. As soon as we do, we will post it in the Blind Tag
Podcast. It's
not
that we can't find it. It's that there's so many pages. It's misplaced among them. We can't figure out which one it's on.
Pat Crowley is King Firehawk. So
King Firehawk,
thank you. Just putting that out there. Yeah. Rey Mysterio Jr. versus Loki. Yeah, even if the price of admission, because Frank never gouged the prices on tickets. And the price of admission, even if it's $25 a person,
it's worth it.
That's worth
penny.
it.
Worth it.
That's worth it.
That's just for that match. But then you got.
You have great indie talent as well. So I like
intermission.
It's a solid mix-up in a really, really solid program.
Yep.
Frank knew how to promote. Frank knew how to book.
Yep.
At the end of the day, I think we can all say that, Frank, regardless of whether or not you knew him personally, if you were in the wrestling business around the tri-state area, he touched you in some way. I think that might be fair to say.
He helped make so many people's dream happen that we would spend probably a good 2 hours just naming the names of the people that went through his school or just worked his ring or, even just shook his hand.
Yeah.
It's just...
I told this little story a little while ago on a post that I had when I got a reuniting with Loki just for a short period of time where I actually got to sit and talk with him, and it was at the Jersey All Pro show. And one of the things I said to him was, thank you so much for, all the matches that, you and I had together. And he said, I thank you as well, because if it wasn't for people like us, the innovation that we created was what helped stepping stones to bring us to today, where these kids are going crazy on the Spot Fest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But if it wasn't for Frank and Jersey All Pro and that place in Bayonne, sorry, I don't think that we would have been able to do that. I don't think we would be able to turn around and say, you know, we were pinnacle, helpful in some way to the shaping of what this generation is doing now.
Yeah.
You know, and without Frank being there, without Frank giving us opportunity, man, we wouldn't have that. So, again, you know I said it earlier in the podcast, but Frank, thank you so much for everything. You really will be missed.
Oh my
Yeah.
God!
That sums it up. Final thoughts? Anybody?
Jersey lost a very good promoter.
Yeah. Dante?
Just still kind of numb and a loss for words.
Yeah.
To,
go ahead.
To all the friends and family out there of Frank,
Yeah.
our heartfelt condolences go to you. Our prayers go with you, and bless you all.
Yeah.
I really don't know how else to put it.
We're going to go ahead and end the stream with the 10-bell salute. I hope you guys enjoy it, and we will remain quiet throughout it.
Real quick, Mark, I know you're probably still listening. If you want to get in contact with me and catch up, please hit me up on the Fallen Angels podcast page or Fallen Angels on Facebook, and I'll get in contact with you, okay? Thanks a lot, man.
10-bell salute. Thanks for dropping by, guys. We appreciate it. And we will see you all soon. I'll tell you when we're clear. Mark said he will do. No. Oh, God.